So I got this 21-inch front tire on the bike. I've got SMR hubs, custom spokes, and a used rim that I got off an XR 650R, and I got those all laced up. Then I had to consider brake clearance because of the angles of these spokes. I don't have as much clearance, so I had to shave down this just a little bit, and that doesn't seem like it's been an issue. It seems to function just fine, and that's it. So how did it perform? Well, it performed really well coming up here. I was really impressed. When you go over the small stuff, the 17 would deflect a lot, and this 21 just rolls right over it. Obviously, it's hard to compare, grip, because I mean we're talking about full on knobby status right here versus a big block style thing, and this is going to perform way better on the street, and a lot worse on the trails. And that one up there is going to be way better on the trails and on the dirt. Another thing I thought might be an issue is seat height. That doesn't seem to be an issue because you're only lifting the front. It seems like the rear has more to do with seat height, and so I haven't really noticed that it's taller. I think it's a little taller. You feel like you're a little bit farther from the contact patch in the front. Doesn't seem to be a big issue. It's just, I'm running a full knobby now, and the front wiggles around on the street, and it doesn't give you a lot of confidence. But these are early days. I've barely broke it in. I'll get used to it, and really I want off-road performance, so that's what I'm going with. And the first, I was worried about fender clearance, but that has turned out to not really be an issue so far. I went over a lot of bumps, and it hasn't hit, so that's good. The other area that I thought might be an issue is the kickstand, but it sits just fine. A question you might ask is, why didn't I get an 18 in the rear? Well, reason number one, money. I mean, custom spokes are like a couple $100. I have a rim and I have a hub, so in the future I may lace that up. A couple of things about that. So The swing arm on the TE is different, and there's not a lot of clearance here. So I'm not really sure how that would go. But this tire's pretty fat, pretty high profile. So if you went up a little bit with the rim and you went to a lower profile tire, it might be just fine. So if any of you guys have done that, I'd like to know. I'd like to know if there's any clearance issues. I have seen them online where people have done it, so it's probably fine. I also felt like there wasn't a huge benefit to an 18 in the rear. This tire functions pretty well. Unlike the 17 front, when you've got a 17 in the rear, there are some decent tire options because some of the adventure bikes run that size. Tire cost. The nice thing about dirt bike tire sizes is the tires are way cheaper, and there's a lot more options. So, for example, if you wanted an 18-inch rear Midas I think it's the EO9 that's supposed to be pretty good. For an 18-inch rim, that one costs around $100 USD, maybe 120. And for the Dakar version in a 17, it's like 180 bucks. So it's a lot more expensive, and that seems to be pretty consistent across the board. So in the front, for a 17-inch wide front tire, I would typically spend between 150 USD and 200. But that guy right there, I paid like 60 bucks for it, 50, 60 bucks. So I'm going to save a lot in tires by going to this. They won't last as long. I know people complain that TKC 80 doesn't last long. On a light bike like this, it lasts quite a while, actually, compared to a dirt tire. So definitely this is not going to last as long. So that's it. 21 in the front and 17 in the rear. And I couldn't be more stoked.